Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a back to basics video, and I figured why not just start at the beginning and each video just go to the next step of how I do my makeup. I've done a couple other videos of this. The first official one that I did was lip lining. So today I thought we'll start at the beginning and we're going to be going over primers. So with primers, it's you either use them or you don't. And I used to not use them, and now I always use them. I really like primers for the fact that it helps my makeup last longer. I like using really tacky ones, really hydrating ones, just because I do have drier skin. Now that I've moved to Florida, yes, it does get oily, but I have found one that I really like to use and I don't have a problem with it. And well, now that we wear mask out, it's kind of hard because I'm constantly itching my nose, so I use my mask to itch, and that doesn't work out. But other than that, I really like this primer. I've been using it for years. I think I got it when I was still living in, like, when I first moved to Springfield and back when I was in Missouri. But yeah, I'm still using it. I still really like it. I highly suggest it for everybody who asks me. But that's not the only primer in the world, and I have tested out and used others that I have found to like and not like. So we'll go on and get started. I have my laptop here with me today just so I can go through like the notes I've made so that I can hit certain points. There's not a lot to like putting on primer. There's two different ways you can put it on. Well, there's, I guess, a couple different ways you can put it on. You can use a flat brush. Let me see if I have one handy. You can use kind of like a flattened brush like this to help push it in. There's even like, I think they're called silicone brushes now that are flat. I used to have some in here. I don't think I have it anymore, but you can use that. It's really, you can use it for skincare, you can use it for primers, and use it to really help push in the product. You can also use a beauty blender, makeup sponge. Use this to really push it in, especially if it's one like a putty primer. That'll help push it into the pores. Or what I like to do best is just use my hands. I like to use my hands because it warms the primer up to my like body temperature. It warms it up and it smooths on, it gets smoothed on really easily. It works into my skin really nicely, and then that way I know exactly where I'm putting that primer. So there are different types. There are for the most part, they're silicone based and then water based. And there's a lot of science behind whether you should, what type of foundation then. Ooh, my hair is frizzy today, ignore it. It's always frizzy though. Whether you want to use a certain kind of foundation with a certain type of primer. I say meh, like I'm going to use whatever foundation I want to use. I'm going to use whatever primer I want to use. Maybe it would save me a lot of testing and mixing and matching and trying to find what I like best, probably, but I don't want to do that. I want to find the foundation that works best for me, and I want to find the primer that works best for me. So that's just what I do. But within primers, there's different forms. There is like a putty primer, which comes in like a balmy, kind of like this. There's the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. They also have it in like a mattifying, a glowy. There's the Tatcha one that this is like the dupe for. They come in like a liquid like this, like a gel. You can also get them in sprays. I prefer ones that I can put on with my hands specifically. And you can do that with the putty primer, but also with this one, and I'll get into reasons why later, I like to use a sponge with this one. Let's see. So there, when it comes to primers, there are pore filling primers, there are mattifying primers, hydrating primers, there's like glowy, dewy, illuminating primers, there's color correcting primers, there's different types, and you can mix and match them, kind of, not like completely, but you can decide where you want to put it on your face. So typically, if you have oily skin, you want to stay away from like the more dewy, hydrating illuminating primers. And that's just because your skin's gonna make its own dew and come through on your makeup. And if you use too much of a dewy primer and then you go in with like a dewy foundation, if you like that look, and then your oil's gonna come in and it's gonna be like a wet, slick mess, and you don't want that. If you do end up wanting to use an illuminating primer, what you could do is go in with your hands, get the illuminating, and go around your T-zone. Try to avoid your T-zone, and then in your T-zone, use a mattifying, a pore filling, something like that, just so the illumination is not mixing with the illumination of your natural skin oils and making it extra dewy. Unless you like that look. If you like that look, more power to ya. The color correcting primers that you can get, that's going to be help to more like even out your skin tone. If you have a lot of redness, if you have dark spots, anything like that. There's also pore filling, which kind of already touched on that. I believe these two are the only ones I have. Yes, I believe so. So I have a poreless putty primer. I like to use a sponge with this one specifically because I get in, I load up my sponge, and then I really focus on my pores and push it in. You can also do this with your fingers. That's completely fine. And really push it in, work it in with the heat of your skin and get that worked in. There is a liquid one. There is a pump version. It's a little bit thicker, I believe, than this one because this is a essence, essentially, that you would put on your skin. It is very runny, but it is going to help kind of minimize the look of your pores by filling them in. It doesn't get rid of your pores. Your pores, when you wipe off your makeup, they're still there. You can't take away your pores. They're there. But you can minimize the way that they look with makeup on. Then my favorite is the Milk Hydro Grip. This one is super tacky, and I like it because I wear full face makeup typically when I do my makeup, like a heavy I just lost my train of thought. I use like my Huda, so I need a sticky, tacky primer that's gonna keep my makeup on. And I like this one. It's hydrating, and I have drier skin, so this works great. And even when my skin does get a little bit oily, this one, it doesn't slip and slide and move all over. It's really good. So there is that. All primers get tacky. That is the point of them. It's essentially what you put on after your skincare, and then this is the first step of your makeup. It's going to keep your makeup longer. It's going to even out your skin if you use like a color correcting, but it's also just going to be like a nice base for your foundation to go on. It's prepping your skin for the foundation. With illuminating primers, so I mean, I have several illuminating primers. This one's like it's technically a serum, but you can use it as a primer, and it makes your skin very dewy. This one's a vitamin C Banana Bright one from Ole Henriksen. Why is it so loose? I don't know what's going on. I don't know. But it brightens, and some of them even have like some reflex in them to make it actually like dewy and shiny. There is also like soothing primer. So if you have really red skin or irritation, this the ingredients in it help soothe your skin, kind of combat the color of the redness. You can also use like green face primers, which is going to combat the redness of your skin. There are several different types, and you kind of just need to play around with what works best for your skin. Pore one is also going to help with like fine wrinkles, fine lines, all of that. So I am going to put on a primer here with you guys. I mean, you guys have seen me do it before. I've talked through it before, but just so you can see specifically what I mean by like really pushing it in, really working it into your skin. When you get it on, you want to let it sit for like a minute, 2 minutes, so that it can really get tacky. If you go in too soon with your foundation, it's not going to be ready. It's going to be tacky, and it's not going to give you the full long lasting effect that you would get if you just let it sit and react with your skin. So what one do I want to go in with today? I'm filming another video after this, and I'm very excited because I haven't filmed in a while. I've just been working off of ones that I've pre-recorded. So today I'm just gonna go in with my Milk Hydro Grip. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with it. I typically, whenever I use a brightener one, is when I'm going in with a thinner foundation. Just because I feel like with my Huda Beauty, it doesn't always come through because it is so full coverage. And then at that point, if I want to add, it's so matte, it's a matte foundation. So if I want to add shine to it, then that's when I go in with like a highlighter or my mood powders from Jaclyn Hill, just something really light to add some more life. Or I use a dewy setting mist so that I can add some more life to my face. So typically I go in with like 2 or 3 pumps, and I'm gonna warm it up between my fingers, get it to my body temperature. And then I'm just gonna start getting it on my skin and pressing it in. So I have pores in this area that show up really, really nice when I have makeup on. And this one's not so much a pore filling as other ones I have, but I still want to do the same technique just so that it's actually getting into my skin, doing what I need it to do. And I use the same primer all over my face. There have been a couple days where I've wanted to use my pore filling one on the middle of my face so that I can have really smooth finish, but then I use like my dewy illuminating ones on the edges of my face so that I still have like some shine coming through. So that is just basically, I just work it in, make sure I'm getting it everywhere I'm going to be putting makeup. And there we go. If you have any more questions about primer, if you have questions about good types, you have any input, let me know down below. I'm always willing to learn more. I always want to learn more. I did not go to school for makeup, so I don't know everything. I'm always learning and always watching videos to try and learn more. So if you know something, let me know. If you know the rules behind the water-based versus silicone-based foundation to primer, let me know. Make a comment down below. Otherwise, I hope this helped you all. I hope you all are having a great week. My week just started and it's technically my weekend already. I worked Monday and I'm off for 2 days now. So I'm gonna be filming quite a bit in these next 2 days, and I will see you in my next video. I hope you're having a great day, a great night, whatever time it is when you're watching this. So bye.